So the next part of this section is explicit formulas. And an explicit formula is a formula that defines the nth term, a sub n, again, we should be used to that notation by now, as we can find any term we want, a sub n, of a sequence as a function of n. So this is actually a little more powerful than our recursive formula, and it's because it lets us find any term in the sequence without knowing the other terms. That means if we have this formula, we can find the 8 millionth term without knowing the one that happened right before it. Or more realistically, I can know the 500th term without having to find the first 499. So the explicit formula is a little bit more powerful and helpful in certain situations. So I've got these filled in here on the line, so you should be able to copy that down. But when we're trying to do explicit formulas for an arithmetic sequence, remember when they're adding, a sub n equals a sub 1, so the first term, plus n minus 1 times a. And we're going to do these together, so you'll follow along pretty well. But we're going to have n show up in our recursive or explicit formula. And then for geometric, we're going to use a sub n equals a1 times r to the n minus 1 power. So as I look at these formulas, this means if I know the first term, I'm going to be able to probably simplify and write these explicit formulas. And for us, that's what we're going to do. And it won't be overwhelming, so don't get stressed out about it. But there are some applications in different classes where you'll see these used where there's a little more work to finding the explicit formula. But for us, as long as we have this set up, we're going to be okay. So again, I'm going to do the first and the third example because it's one of each, and then I'll fill the middle one in for the notes. So if we look at number 4, we want to find the explicit formula for this sequence. Well, what are we doing every time? 24, 44, 64, 84. We're adding 20. And I'm going to be short and just write arith instead of arithmetic. So it's an arithmetic sequence. So that means I'm going to come up and pick up this format for the explicit formula. So that means a sub n equals a sub 1. Well, the first term is 24 plus n, sorry, I said n and I wrote something else, n minus 1 times a. Well, a is what we're adding. So what are we adding every time? 20. So this is an equation that you can simplify. So a sub n equals 24 plus, well, if I take 20 times n minus 1, I get 20n minus 20. And then if I simplify, combine my like terms, I have a sub n equals 20n plus 4. So that's my explicit formula. And I don't need to list the first term. I can find the second term by plugging in 2 for n. 20 times 2 is 40. 40 plus 4 is 44. I can find the fourth term by plugging in 4. 20 times 4 is 80. 80 plus 4 is 84. And now using this formula, if I wanted to know the 500th term, if I wanted to know what's going to be term 500, I don't have to find my way all the way up. I can just do 20 times 500, which is 10,000 plus 4. So that means the 500th term would be 10,004. And I didn't have to do all those steps in the middle. So the explicit formula is a little more powerful for seeing what happens in the long run of a sequence. So I know I'm ridiculously predictable, Since that was arithmetic, this is geometric. So let's look here and see what we're multiplying by. We're multiplying by 2, where we start with 2. We get -6, +18, -54. Well, 2 times -3 is -6. -6 times -3 is 18. So we're multiplying by -3. So that should be multiplication. I don't know why I didn't write the word. Maybe because I'm lazy? I'm not sure. So we're multiplying by -3. So it's geometric. So since it's geometric, I'm going to come up, and this is the formula I'm going to use, what we wrote under geometric. So a sub n equals a1. Well, a1 is the first term of the sequence. Here it's 2 times r. Well, r is what we're multiplying by. So we're multiplying by -3. And then the n minus 1 is in the exponent. So we're going to get n minus 1. And for this particular one, we can't simplify that anymore. There's no way to simplify this base raised to this exponent. We have to leave it written this way. But we can still check that we're right. If I want to know what's the second term of the sequence, I would put 2 in for n. Well, I end up with 2 times -3. 2 minus 1 is 1. So I get -6, and that's right. I could check to see if the fourth term is in fact -54. So if I put 4 in for n, I have -3 to the third power, because 4 minus 1 is 3, times 2. And oh, you can't see it because of the glare. I'm so sorry. So we'll just do it again. -3 to the third power gave me -27, but then I have to take that times 2. And I get -54. And again, maybe I want to know term 500. So I can do -3 to the, well, I put 500 in for n. 500 minus 1 is 499. Oh, and it's too big. Maybe we find the 100th. So I'm going to go -3 to the 99th power, which is still enormous, times 2. So it ends up being -3.4 times 10 to the 47th. So you can guess these numbers are getting huge really quickly, and exponential functions do that. We'll talk about that after spring break. But you can see how having this recursive formula lets finding those values later in the sequence be much easier than trying to find each individual term on the way. So at the bottom of your notes page are examples 7 and 8. One is arithmetic and one is geometric, and they do want you to write the recursive and the explicit formula for those. So I'm gonna zoom out of this just a little bit so that you can see 7 and 8, the actual the sequences. So you can copy those down. I'll leave that right here. You can always pause the video, but I'm not going to post the answers here in the video. I want you to try these on your own and then pull up the notes, because I will post them in the notes, and see if your formulas match mine. And if they don't, look and see what we need to fix. It's possible sometimes I'm incorrect, but see if you can figure out what I did differently and get yourself set up for those. So hopefully this wasn't too long and too rambly. You can fast forward through what you need, back up through what you need. You should have an example of arithmetic and geometric for both the recursive and the explicit. I want you guys to practice these two examples on your own before you go on to the homework and check what you have, because we would do that together in class. And then I'll fill in 2 and 5, those extra examples, and post them in the notes.